All right, let's talk about your website. Is it just kind of sitting there, or is it actually out there working for you 24/7? Today, we're going to break down how you can turn that passive website into an active, powerful growth engine for your business.
So you've done it. You've built this beautiful website, right? It's got the slick design, the perfect logo, but there's just one problem. It's quiet, like really quiet. If you're hearing crickets when you were expecting the sound of new customers, trust me, you are not alone. This is one of the most common frustrations out there.
But here's the good news. Fixing this isn't some kind of dark art or hidden secret. It really boils down to two key ideas that work together to turn that silent website into your absolute best salesperson.
And here they are. Think of it like this. On one side of the coin, you have on-page SEO. That's all about getting found. It's how you wave your hand at Google and say, hey, over here, I have the answers people are looking for. But once they find you, you flip the coin over to A/B testing. This side is all about getting better, actually turning those visitors into customers by figuring out what really works. You absolutely need both.
Okay, so let's dig into that first pillar, getting found. Because look, if people can't find your digital front door, then nothing else really matters, does it? This is the art and science of on-page search engine optimization. Now, you might have heard about SEO from back in the day. The strategy was, let's just say, not very sophisticated. It was pretty much just cramming your keyword into a page as many times as humanly possible, hoping the search engine robots would take notice. It was clumsy and, honestly, it made for a terrible reading experience for actual humans.
Thankfully, the game has completely changed. Modern SEO is way smarter, mostly because the search engines themselves got way smarter. Now they prioritize websites that create unique, helpful value and deliver a fantastic user experience. Why? Because that's what keeps people coming back to them.
You know this quote from Rand Fishkin, who's a huge name in the SEO world, just says it all. The new rule is simple. Make your page amazing for people, and you'll end up making it amazing for Google. If you ever have to choose between forcing in a clunky keyword and creating a smooth experience, the user wins, every single time.
So how do you put this into practice? Well, just think about a visitor's journey. First, they see your page title in the Google search results. That's your entire first impression right there. If they click, they land on your page and see the headline. It has to instantly scream, you're in the right place. Then they'll scan your body text. Is it actually useful or is it just fluff? And believe it or not, even the URL itself should be short, clean, and descriptive. It all works together to signal quality.
Okay, so you've nailed the SEO. People are showing up. Fantastic. But that's only half the battle. Now we have to make sure the site actually does its job. It's time to stop guessing what your visitors want and start knowing.
And this is the whole philosophy behind A/B testing. It's basically the scientific method, but for marketing. Instead of having a 10-person meeting to argue about whether a red button or a blue button is better, you just test it with real users and let the data give you the answer. No more guessing.
And here's why this is such a massive opportunity. Get this. Data shows that a staggering 60% of marketers don't validate their test results properly. 60%, think about that. If you simply commit to a data-driven approach, you are already way ahead of most of your competition. That's a huge advantage.
So how does it work? It's beautifully simple. With A/B testing, you're just testing one variable at a time. You take your original page, let's call it A, and you create a variation with one single change, like a different headline. That's B. Then you show half your traffic A and half B, and see which one wins. Now, you may have heard of multivariate testing, where you change a bunch of things at once, but honestly, you need massive traffic for that to work. For most of us, A/B testing is the way to go.
Okay, this all sounds great in theory, but where do you even begin? What should you actually be testing on your site? Let's get into some practical examples.
First and foremost, before you even think about button colors, start with your core offer. This is the big one. This is the fundamental value you're providing. It's the reason a visitor should care enough to stick around.
And you might be surprised by what your audience actually wants. Do they prefer downloading a detailed ebook, or would they rather attend a live webinar? Are they looking for a product demo, or would a free consultation be more valuable? Testing these big picture offers can unlock some major breakthroughs.
Next up, let's talk about the call to action, or the CTA. This is the button, the link, it's that final nudge you want them to click to take the next step. It's a tiny little element that has a massive impact.
And the smallest changes here can make the biggest difference.
Test your wording. Does download now work better than get your free guide? What about the color? Does a bright red button get more clicks than a cool green one? Even the size and where you put it on the page can dramatically change your results.
Okay, this all makes sense in theory, but let's look at a real-world example to see just how powerful a single test can really be.
Here's a fantastic example from HubSpot. On the left, that's their original landing page, the control. On the right is the new version they tested, the treatment. And you can see they didn't just change a button color here. They went for a pretty radical redesign. They tried a new layout, a totally different image, and much shorter text to see if a completely fresh approach could boost their conversions.
So here's the crucial takeaway. Getting found and getting better. These are not one-time tasks. They're not a checklist you finish and then you're done. They fit together into a continuous cycle, an endless loop of improvement. And this is what that path looks like. You start by using smart SEO so you can get found. Then you run A/B tests to measure what's happening and get better. After that, you learn from the data. You figure out what worked and what didn't. And finally, the most important step, you repeat. You take those learnings and you test again. Every single time you go through this loop, your website gets smarter and more effective. So that brings us to the final, most important question. You don't need a huge budget or a massive team to start this. Just looking at your own website right now, what's the one small experiment you could run today to start this powerful cycle of improvement?